I can dig it. Mid Kunkka is always cool, not always great, and it does actually counter out the Brood too.
Yeah, and they can kind of do whatever they want now in terms of lanes, though. That is the one downside, right? Yeah. Where, like, paiN could send Ursa or Pugna or Magnus mid. Like, Weehaw has a great Magnus. If they want to give this to him and go back to something else for Tavo, that could be possible. Like, the Enigma, then you're playing Enigma into Nyx, but there is no BKB cancel.
How good of a matchup is that? I feel like Ursa would destroy Kunkka, but Magnus might be more even.
It would be more even, but it's like a lot of free farm from Magnus, I think. I don't think that you get forced out too easily. So that would be a lot of the benefits, right?
Yeah. And then maybe pick the Pugna down there to try and pressure the Spectre. But they're going to take a Terrorblade. That is a great hero against Spectre.
Pretty much classic HFN hero. And it looks like it'll just be the assumed Weehaw on the Ursa and Tavo on the Magnus. So sticking with what's worked, sticking with the strats they've had before. And King RD on the Pugna here for the support.
Look at that Weehaw set. What in the heck is happening there? He's
mixing it up, dude. He's got a little bit of Alpine Ursa on the head, and then he's just swagging everywhere else.
Look at the claws with the little razor things. He's like Wolverine's half-bear brother that just wants to kill everybody.
Just seems a little excessive.
Right.
I mean, why do you need claws on claws? Like, how do you use the claws underneath with those claws? I don't think you can.
I think the claws on top are for backhands.
Ah, yeah, they should be turned the other way.
There you go.
Now we got strats. Okay, now you're thinking.
The next level play.
I think that's what happens when he gets cleave. Okay. They just get turned around, and that's how he hits it all.
Fair enough.
Ah, there's paiN. They're back now. Now they're paying attention. They found the chat wheel again. Newbee's draft, a lot of space makers. You look at these 4 heroes, aside from the Spectre, they're going to be all over the place. Got Kunkka. He wants to make some kills. Ench making plays.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as the cheers are coming out from the players themselves this time around, we are going into game number 1, paiN Gaming versus Newbee. Newbee already looking pretty decent in their group stage run. paiN looking to start off hot. See if they can make it happen. And again, to me, I'm feeling about the sort of inevitability of Spectre coming online, and also the fact that if SCCC starts to make rotations, then we're going to have the wonderful HFN maybe in some trouble there as well. Because I feel like Kunkka does quite well against Terrorblade.
I hope we don't have to split our fee with like these other casters, you know what I mean? Because I feel like they're going to be casting just as much as us this game.
That's true.
You know, we got to send some payment their way or something.
Oh, maybe.
The mutes might have to come out.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, you know, the people love to hear the whole chat.
I know. Mode AMG. All right, you said it, Weehaw. Get him.
Oh, my God. All right. What's the point? What's the point where we start to think about muting them? I don't know what it is, but we're getting there rapidly. As we're going to have a smoke out towards mid lane, try and get down some of these wards by King RD. Man, 387. No movement speed items once he's smoked. It's a fast guy. We also do have Mugi heading up towards top. Just a heck of a lot of regen. There is nobody else there in his lane as of yet. But, yeah, we'll see. Ward down. This one blocks out the camp. And it looks like bottom lane as well. It is SCCC set up with 9 tangos and a salve.
30 seconds to battle.
Pressure is real.
They're sending down they're saying KP mid.
Got a little bit of a mid-enche versus the Ursa. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if this has been read right now by the Radiant side, if they know this is happening, but well, we'll have to see where everyone winds up going.
This is a terrible lane for HFN. You might run into some issues with the all of the sort of long cooldown that comes out from Tidebringer, but yeah, this could be really tough for them.
And in the top lane, though, this like idea of the support Pugna, I do like this being turned into support just because it can keep pressuring and keep blasting onto the Spectre. Certainly makes it a little bit irritating. I think this whole idea of the tri-lane down bottom was just trying to get a level 1 kill, and it didn't work out, so they'll just rotate. Yeah.
Okay.
And Nyx will come up top. So Nyx is an interesting hero. He can be played in this position 4 or position 5 just because of his ridiculous HP regen. Like, he bought 2 mangoes, and now he's sitting at 6.4. He's going to buy just the mana burn level 1. This is the what I call the anti-nature's prophet play, but I guess it works out against the Pugna too. Just like completely negate what he can do. And Tavo even giving him the early empower to try and boost his harassment. capabilities.
Dire structures are fortified.
Really cool stuff there. Early use as well of the glyphs just to try and pressure this, and we're seeing that KP is going to kind of have his way through Weehaw through the first couple of levels. And as we mentioned, this is not necessarily a counter anymore, as you can just purge off the overpower.
Man, he is just getting punched out of this lane. Has the salve up, and he's playing a little close here. If KP, yeah, he really wanted to dive. That was really nice movement from Weehaw. He's trying to bait him into the tower, and he ends up eating a right click just to try and cancel a salve.
Nice. And meanwhile, it feels like each of these lanes could potentially have kill potential, depending upon how the movement goes. Is SC able to get a nice little bit of denying going on here as well, toggling the Tidebringer. And HFN going to need to come up with some answers, because this is a lot of harassment.
Yeah, similarly for Weehaw, too. It's just nonstop, and if they trade, then KP just heals. And he has a ward, too, so he's just constantly poking on top of Weehaw, and there's nothing he can do about it.
Very frustrating, I'm sure.
And you think about it, like, every couple of last hits he gets is just negated by the salve, right? Because, like, he just keeps salving up, and he just keeps buying salves.
Right. And that's also using the courier. His team can't really make use of it either, as it is going to be another one of those salves coming out. But, yeah, and also down bottom, you're going to probably be winning the regen war as well, as SC still has 6 tangos in the bank and only 2 tangos for both of these heroes on paiN. Newbee putting the hurt on him early. Even though it is paiN leading in the CS right now, this could change around depending on the next couple of minutes work out.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of kill potential either. They need some big meta play, and that can only happen so often, right? So in between every meta, they're just not worried about anything.
Right. Weehaw being bullied out by the DD now on the Enchantress. He's just going to keep on poking him in the eye. And top lane, King RD just going to continue to dance around. He doesn't have a ton of mana, and that's the strength of Kaka, as you mentioned before. Just gain more and more points. We'll see if he puts more points in the mana, but if he just keeps it
I don't
at
think
1.
I'll have to, honestly. Just want to leave it at 1. Got to focus on that Carapace.
So 3 minutes in, not a whole lot to talk about. It is starting to catch back up again for Newbee as the regen wars are being played out, and they actually ferry out 2 more stacks of tankos for HFN. So in spite of the decent CS, a lot of that's spent on regen.
Yeah, and now there's a bottle coming for Weehaw, too, so he's just going to try and play with the wave, try and shove it into the tower and go for runes. And basically the only thing he can try and do in this lane. Yeah. KP just keeps poking him. Like, if he wants to use that bottle, he's going to have to go back under his tower.
Yeah. They managed to catch that one right at the end, as they did find a kill there. A mango was used for the Nether Blast, and they find the kill on Kaka. Quick tip.
Only 1 tip? I thought paiN were more coordinated. I thought they went with the quintuple tip.
You can only do so many in a game, right?
Yeah, I know, but the 5-man first blood, it's like a staple.
That's fair enough.
I think they're losing, you know, focus or something here. Something's up with the squad, clearly.
Oh God, HFN needs to be so careful again. Like a Tidebringer here and a Torrent, he could potentially go down. Look at the damage that comes out as he is down very low. They throw out the Torrent. It is going to connect, and they manage to kill off HFN. This Terrorblade is not having a good time.
Really nice stuff there. And now SCCC also bullying in on the Duster. Yeah. But mid lane, Weehaw did manage to get the top rune, thankfully. As if he's not getting those runes, this lane's that's a dead investment if he doesn't get that rune. So he was lucky on the 50-50, and he used another salve. And he's going to have some boots coming in, though.
When Terrorblade died, he also bought himself another stack of tangos. So there's been so much gold spent on consumables early on here.
Yeah, and that shows, too, because like they have so many last hits, but the net worth lead is on the side of Newbee.
Yeah. Well, Bottle is also done for Tavo, so he can try and take away these runes whenever possible, as King RD is going to come back up this way. We'll see if they fight for him. And so far, Enchantress just having herself a great old time. HFN able to pick up one for
Kaka's on the run up top here. He's trying to get that second rune. He already stole the first one, but I don't think he's getting the second.
Oh, 6 charges? All right, he just hits another mana burn, and we'll accept his fate. God. Weehaw have to run out and farm up Ancients after he pushes out the wave.
Yeah, it is one of the benefits of this hero, though. You know, there's not too many mid heroes these days that can really focus on Ancients.
No.
Basically him and TA.
SCC Has 2 points now into Tidebringer. The next one is where it starts to get really scary, getting that cooldown down to 7 seconds and the added bonus damage. You can just spam out the waves so quickly. As Mugi there contesting for the pull that went on. And Tavo's going to get a wave under his tower as well. So by and large, still pretty good, I would say. Is there a team that you feel like inherently is sort of happier with the way the laning stage has gone?
Not really. I think it goes both ways because like when I look at paiN, I worry about a Magnus and a Terrorblade, and I feel like Terrorblade's doing pretty well, honestly. Even though he has died once, he still has 30 last hits. It's okay. At Magnus, if you don't get off to a good start, it's a lot like Axe. You need so many items to be a functional hero. You know, right. You want that Arcanes, you want that Blink Dagger. You really don't want to be a poor Magnus. So it's really important that these two heroes get off to a good start. And at the same time, in the Dire, they have a Spectre. So I don't think either team, like both teams are kind of getting what they want right now. So I think it's all right. It's more so going to come down to who can make the first plays out of the laning phase.
Fair enough. Well, and we do have this catapult wave coming in. KP did not have enchant up to take over the other catapult, so instead they're going to just keep the pressure on though. And really, if you're Weehaw, it's hard to contest this. A tier 1 tower mid taking it just about 7 minutes. This is what Enchantress does.
Yeah, he just forced completely back.
Oh my
no
god.
TPs. Yeah, that is a lot of damage.
Well, there's not really that much getting done on the other side. They're pressuring the tier 1 tower towards the top. Comes in, gets the deny. Weehaw enraged, but KP also a little bit upset about the situation. Enraged does not wear off for that impetus hits.
So he, and they grab a kill on the Venge too. But TV looks like he'll be fine. So what happened was that Weehaw put on his overpower before coming out of the fog. So the second the KP saw him, he instantly enchanted him. But that meant that he wasn't there to go for the last hit.
Ah,
nice play. You know, catch-22 there for KP.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it is still a tower taken though, so the map control. You just look at KP. He's just continuing to just put the beating on Ursa.
Yeah, this is some real team right now. Venge shows up.
Oh God. This is the type of thing and the reason why we say that Ursa does not counter Enchantress anymore.
All right, so now the question is, where do you want to move as the Ench? Do you want to try and draw attention mid? Do you just want to like keep focusing Weehaw and limit his farm, or should she be rotating up top? Those are the kind of questions that they need to figure out for paiN. How much can they abuse right now with this hero, and where's the best place for it? Because he keeps refreshing this catapult, which says to me that he wants to go focus somewhere else.
Right. Yeah, it's a good thing to have if you can keep that pressure on. We did also see a rotation here by HFN to the top lane. So both him and Magnus up here in the area wanting to keep the pressure on this tower, see if they can secure tier 1 of their own. As Faith is just prowling through the jungle. It feels like they do very much just own a huge portion of the map, and paiN are forced to sort of just fight for the scraps as SCCC is going to start taking the tier 1 tower bottom.
Yeah, but HFN getting this up top without having meta is pretty impressive.
Yeah. If they could leverage that into killing SCCC, this would also be tremendous, but a hard thing to get done. As they cut through the creep wave, and then Tavo will finish it off. So a good dodge. This gives Terrorblade a little bit of love, some time for himself. And that's what he needs. Kaka moving in. Just going to throw out a mana burn and back out. And you just have to commit so many heroes mid to try and deal with the push from KP that they're not really able to do all that much around the rest of the map.
Yeah, and it's really slowing down Weehaw too, because every time he shows himself, he's just getting hit by an impetus and losing, a quarter of whatever HP he has.
Yeah, looking at these levels, KP is just a monster. Level 9 right now. They're thinking about a dive. They go for the haunt, find him immediately. They have the boat as well. Tavo stunned and going to be killed as Duster also going to be chased down here. They have themselves an X. They're going to have another Torrent in a second if they want to go for it, but no fuss, no muss. They find the kill.
And this is really bad news. In fact, they're not rotating Ench. And, this is fine. If Ench is able to stay mid and you're able to win these fights on the side lanes and secure towers, then they're in a lot of trouble on the side of paiN because they don't have anyone who can respond.
Yeah.
And this Magnus is being forced to go places he doesn't want to. He doesn't really want to be a dead stop hero that camps a real poor lane to be in. He needs farm. Yeah. But they have an Ursa that needs farm.
Yeah, this game is feeling tougher and tougher. Kunkka is going to go for the exploit to bring him back into lane. That should allow them to pressure this tower. And there's the strength of Kunkka and why it's such a strong hero In the meta nowadays, you can just go right back in for another round.
Yeah, and Kaka now has the tome here too. So he's going to have level 6, and he can combo with KP and probably set up some pretty easy kills on all these junglers. Like, they basically know that either Meg or Ursa is pretty much guaranteed to be jungling if they're not on the wave.
SC, 4 points in Tidebringer. And Mookie, just going to give that last hit to the Cardi.
Totally intentional.
Yeah. Terra goes out, but nothing really doing there. And yeah, this is the type of situation where you'd feel like it's relatively even, and it kind of is. I think that in this game, it hurts to lose those towers early, but at the same time, they've been able to make a few inroads. They take the tier 1 top. Like, really, the mid tower is the sort of the ench thing.
Newbee just made a really obvious play, though. Nyx is sitting up top by the tower, and then Spectre shows up. Nyx leaves, TP's mid on top of a creep, and then runs to the right. Like, they're obviously smoking from there. It's pretty clear, and I think paiN have read that as well. So that was a pretty greedy play, I would say, from Newbee, to assume that a team's not going to notice something like that. And they responded appropriately here. As you can see, they just had like sentry wards ready. Everyone was prepped for a fight. And however, HFN, he's not ready. He thinks he's dodging all of the pressure by being up here, but they move very fast.
And this is always the problem with Terrorblade. Anyways, he does get the Sunder off, not bad. But I don't think that that's going to be enough to save his life. Getting the Sunder, forcing down the Kunkka. At the end of the day, it's just not enough. Terrorblade just cannot deal with that hero.
All right, 2 catapults and snakes. They're like, maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Looks like they're going to head on back. Not going to commit too hard for it yet.
Yeah. Enchantress taking only the 1 point heal, wanting to get more in enchant and keep the pressure on.
Honestly, like, I'd almost rather my Terrorblade died versus my Magnus and my Ursa. Because I feel like my Magnus and Ursa need items to make something happen for our team in this mid game. You know? Like, what good is a Terrorblade with items with these 2 heroes if they don't have these items? Like, they have the Blink Dagger now.
Yeah.
And Empowered Ursa is going in. The bear. Hex.
Be careful. They're all in the area, though. They're able to catch him. The jump back. The RPs are going to come out. Tavo not quite in position. And so much damage coming out as well from the Spectre. paiN need to run because they are in a hell of a lot of trouble. The Haunt, it follows it all up, and they're trying to chase these heroes down. They kill off one. They're going to kill off another King RD. He does manage to fall. 3 dead as KP is going to finish off another triple kill for the Enchantress.
I believe that was one of the deadly sins of the greed. Not taking the RP. He didn't have it. He got level 8 right at the end of the fight. Didn't have time to skill it. It wasn't even a good spot to use it. Not having the RP absolutely killed him there. Because he's trying to farm faster, and he's like, well, we don't want to fight, so why would I have RP? But they definitely needed it there if they had any hope of winning that one. I don't even know if it would have turned it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But, you know, you think about, like, why should I have RP if I don't have Blink? And that's a fair assumption. But they found themselves a fight that could have went a lot better for them.
Yeah. Well, and again, you know, there's so many instances. Dota's a crazy game where that would have been the right play, and they end up paying the price for it. The bigger thing, too, is maybe just a miscommunication of everybody saying, all right, we got to go in right there, as Duster is going to go for the swap. The boat is going to connect, though. King RD dead yet again. They're looking for something, but they won't find it. Man. I will say, I don't think that they... Normally when you look at an Ursa draft, you think they need to get stuff done right now. Yeah. I don't know if that's necessarily as much the case since they have this Empower and they've got the Terrorblade as well. But it would be nice.
Kaka's crazy. He's so low HP to be doing this.
They did just see him, too, as he passed by a ward.
Observer Sentry combo scouts him out. My God.
Weehaw now going to move himself down here towards the bottom. They're kind of all sticking around the same area, realizing if we are not in a position to defend each other, then they are going to take a team fight super easily and kill everybody off. Haunt back up in 60. Still a ways away from Radiance, but Mugi has had himself a nice game going for this Vanguard. And
stun mid. They're going to keep falling up here on the Weehawk.
Now he gets the Enrage. Damage mitigation, the swap out. He might have been able to tank through that one, but instead Duster is going to take a lot of damage. Drops the paiN on the ground before he goes down.
Okay, so a little bit of a bait play there with the Kunkka. Ends up surviving from the harassment of the Ursa. And the bear is forced back, and they'll get the kill.
It was a good save by the Venge, waiting until the X went off before swapping.
I love Moogie's build this game too. Like he was able to get that fight with the Haunt, just grab a couple kills, get a lot of gold, go straight into the Vanguard. Yep. Just like, I don't want to lose any sort of fights. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have time to get my Radiance. I don't think this Radiant team's going anywhere.
Yeah.
But Ursa, he might be thinking about the Roche Pit.
That could be a way to pull themselves back into this a little bit too. It's the type of play that is maybe a little bit, maybe it's a little bit too desperate. And maybe wait until like Haunt is down or something and then you can go for it. But they do also have the Blink Dagger available on 2 of their heroes now. And this is the type of moment where, you know, a game can change around just like that. All you need is 1 solid RP. You're suddenly right back in it, even though it's 2-11.
They're going to go for a smoke play in a minute here. So they've just brought one out to the Pugna. Maybe going to try and de-ward a little bit. And he will use the Invis Room first. He's going to opt in towards that. Dire do have a sentry there.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to see him. Oh, man. Good thing he did not walk up those steps.
That was very close. They also have a catapult.
And a Shadow Blade on Kunkka. But
King RD is in vision.
There.
They see him. They see these guys with this
They're
ward.
just running.
Oh, no. The chase down, SCCC looking for the initiation. He doesn't quite find it. He wants to throw out the torrent. The Impale barely connects there right on the end.
Okay.
And they'll kill off King RD.
And Weehaw doesn't really see a moment. There's not a real threat of Roche, I don't think, here. There's no medallion or anything. I don't think it would be worth using the snakes. They're just going to sit the catapult in there. Keep an eye on it. How many catapults these guys have? There's a 3rd one.
Yeah, just keep them alive, man. That's what they're about. Throw the Radiant Siege works back at them. HFN, this is his life. Just push out the side lanes, stay alive whenever possible. Get whatever split push in you can. X, making sure that KP is fine, I guess. Just trolling him, possibly. Who knows? But 2-12, and this net worth lead is continuing to expand right now for Newbee. As you can see, sitting at about 4,000.
Yeah, and this is all before the Radiance comes out here for the Spectre, which that'll get accelerated. They're holding on and keeping it close only because of the Empower and the Ursa. It's been doing a lot of work for Weehaw. They smoke up. They throw down a sentry after, but it's okay. There was no ward.
Oh, and Nyx immediately breaks it.
Yeah.
Kaka, what a player.
No dust ready on a smoke against an Invis hero. Oh, they did have dust, actually, just on King RD. And either just didn't think he was in range, probably.
Yeah. Well, that, I mean, it felt like it was pretty well telegraphed that that's what was going to happen. But on top of that, also, they managed to react well to it. Kaka moving into position to break the smoke and then get out immediately afterwards. That one hurt.
Where it's the one chat wheel, that's it.
Yeah.
Newbee, that was the perfect time to clap back.
That's true.
Gotta up their chat wheel game. These guys, you know, they're too focused.
And that's the other thing too, is it's that moment where you feel like we need a kill. We need to get something on the board and then we can go into Roche. But the problem is that they do it on Illusion and then they're like, all right, we're gonna go into Roche anyways. They realize they can't do this.
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
That's fair.
He's not wrong.
Well, 2-12, 5,000 net worth lead, and 70 seconds before they're going to have RP up and ready again. They can maybe go here on to Moogie if they can set it up perfectly. They managed to find a bash. The skewer back in as well. The Vanguard not able to keep him alive against that damage.
Nice. Okay. I do like this build from Weehaw, too. Like, the fact he just went straight for that basher like that, getting them a way to fight back into this game. They do have the single target focus to take down a big, giant hero like that Spectre. It's just very difficult when they're in an engagement 5v5 sort of a deal, but side pick-offs like that, well executed. Solid job by paiN to keep themselves in it, and you can see already that's like 1K out of the way, but they're going to go in the pit.
There's a creep in there. They know that this is happening. There's no RP for 40 more seconds, but they could potentially still make this happen as they're going to go for the shrine together. If they want to contest this, they need to go now, but it doesn't look like they want to. Too scary.
Yeah, don't think they have any real hope at it.
Well, now Newbee able to take themselves an Aegis, and they can probably send it over to Moogie as well, as he has a little while before anybody from paiN Gaming can get into position, although they're just going to hand it over to KP. Dragonlance soon to be online for the Enchantress. She re-enchants one of her catapults.
So I guess now KB can just boldly lead smokes try and use this Aegis, try and maybe close out one more tier 2. I don't think they really care about being too aggressive right now because they're just waiting on the Radiance. So look how fanned out they are. This could be a problem. But they've just scouted out so much with the Kaka, I guess they just don't mind.
Yeah.
And they're essentially funneling the side of paiN into the side shop. And they will escape.
Yeah. Good play by paiN to escape that one. Newbee has done a really good job this game of sort of maintaining their dominance of the map. And it's only through the investment in all of these sentry wards that's been able to sort of get paiN some semblance of control. But even that isn't fully going on as they see this Terrorblade right here underneath the Ancients, and well, you got to be careful. Haunt rotation in with the Radiance online soon. Could spell disaster.
Still double catapults for KP in that bottom lane.
Hey, he's doing it.
So that's enough to put a push on here. A little bit of pressure. And what hero do you send down here right now? Like, if we're looking for the Radiant Vision, they see a Xiao Shao in the mid lane. And that's it. Like, there's no one top when the wave is hitting the tower. So they're just not sure what to do. They don't want to send anyone bottom, when realistically, it's just a Kunkka. Yeah. And that's going to get the entire tower for free. And look at Kaka scouting this out right now. There's no sentry.
Oh, the jump away. Really quick reactions there. Duster is going to have to take one for the team, it looks like, though. He's taunting into his grave. But they somehow managed to realize that that was coming their direction and then get out.
And Faith's on the hunt here. He's got the smoke for the speed. It works out.
Into him. He knew that he was going to be heading over there to check the bounty runes, and they find Tavo. The Impale comes through, and Magnus dead again.
Very well read there by Faith.
Wow. 3-14, 6,000 net worth lead. Newbee came to play today. I
will say, you know, the earlier game with IG, and it was like they're so far behind, they have no sort of comeback hero. There is a comeback hero this game. Not only is it because of the RP, but just an empowered Ursa like that can actually clean up a team fight pretty much no matter who you are, you know?
Yeah.
If he gets that cleave going on top of everyone, all that attack speed, all that damage, you still have a chance in these engagements. It's not going to be easy to do, but at least there is hope like that. And a lot of their investment on the side of the Dire is into Mugi. They're very rich on someone like SCCC, but he's not a sustained damage hero. He's kind of this like one-shot crit, make a lot of space during the mid-game sort of a style. And if you can just Ursa down that Spectre, the fights get very difficult for Newbee.
Particularly when you talk about the heroes that are there too with the Terrorblade. Like, this is a hero that all he needs really is levels and getting towards those later talents. Granted, level 20 is a long way away, but Reflection against the Spectre, I mean, that Spectre could potentially kill the whole rest of his team.
Oh, and Pugna down bottom tries to TP out.
They realize it and immediately going to jump out. They will kill him off as Pugna goes down, but on the other side, the Mag was able to escape, or rather the Venge.
Dire's middle tower.
So Haunt down?
Haunt down. Got him. 3-15. The dream is still alive here. 7 more kills to go for Newbee.
Oh.
Everything will be realized.
7,000 gold lead. And KP getting towards that Aeon disc as well. On top of an Aegis. Still have about a minute left on that before it is going to be reclaimed. They do scout out SCCC. They know that he's here, I think. And BKB comes out immediately. They turn onto him, trying to fight so much damage. RP onto 2. Can they kill him off in time? They do indeed. KP down for the count for 1 at least. Now, can they find this a second round? Duster does have the swap available. They jump for it, going to block the path, and Weeha ends the killing spree. Life for paiN Gaming.
Yeah, that's a pretty greedy play. I mean, you're trying to build up into your crit as this Kunkka, and you're just going all aggressive when there's no Haunt. There's just not a lot of benefits there, and a lot of risks. I think they maybe felt pressure to just try and use this Aegis, but clearly it didn't work out too well.
Oh, they're anticipating somebody going for these bounty runes here, and they do find Faith still in the area. He's going to be hexed. They move back in again. They do have Spectre in the area. Radiance is finished, but cannot go into this fight as they're pressuring forward for more, taking a tier 2 tower. paiN Gaming starting to make this happen.
Wow, only a 2K lead now. Comeback is real. All it takes is one RP, but Mugi will quickly grab another grab onto King RD.
Yeah. So Aegis is gone now. 2,000 net worth lead for Newbee when it was looking a heck of a lot worse just a couple of minutes ago. And more importantly, the experience also. On these heroes, like we were talking about Terrorblade, it's only 4 away now from that Reflection.
paiN need to be very careful not to get too far ahead of themselves, though. They still have like 9-second BKB on the Terrorblade, so he still is very strong. But the next fight, like with this whole full Radiance going, and if it's like a 5-man engagement where there's all these illusions, it can still be very devastating. Look how cool they're playing right now. paiN have a sentry. They saw Kaka there.
Yeah, they see him still. There's going to be the X. They have the Torrent. Can go for more if they want. A ward trap fully in, and the BKB runaway from Rihad. Realizes, oh, blink away just barely in time. That should get him out.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Spectre wants to commit for any further haunts or anything onto the Magnus, so. Hey, expensive for a kill on Avenge. Yeah, haunt down, Snake's down too, which makes it unlikely there's any sort of a high ground push, even though that's pretty unlikely we'll see one without an Aegis, but.
Well, and I guess depending upon the time, too, it looks like they will have those abilities most likely back up before Roche is there for the respawn, unless it's like the absolute smallest possible.
SCCC has made an interesting adjustment here. He started building towards that crit. He already had the Blades of Attack, and he just said, you know what, I really need a Halberd.
Huh.
I need some way to deal with this Ursa. Looks like that's going to be the solution. Obviously, it's very good against Terrorblade, too.
Yeah.
If they can get it before the BKB. So, yeah. I mean, it's not a whole lot wasted, right, on the Blades, and you're going to use it later, either way.
This is what was it Nisha did on his Kunkka for a while. He really enjoyed the Halberd. Great item for its stats and active use. And it's something, too, where, like, Kunkka doesn't have a lot of great answers if somebody is just right on top of you. You can't, like, wait for the Torrent to hit after you throw it.
Yeah, a little bit of a space maker kind of a deal. He has to keep the right spacing for himself, rather.
Yeah. Downside is that well, he did have an Abyssal queued up, but it looks like now he's going for the Ags.
Oh, jeez, we're in the same situation here once again. We're in the same spot with no sentry. This time, oh, actually, no, yeah, they don't have a sentry. But they brought one out now, and now they'll pop it, and they'll see the one in the tree, so there we're good.
Tier 2 tower falls yet again. paiN Gaming finding a life for themselves. They jump back. They RP SCCC, but the Impale onto 3. Can he get out of there? The Shadow Blade away. They still manage to get him, and the swap back from Duster finds the kill. The tip is out as well as paiN Gaming sieging high ground. There's no buyback now. This freight train of paiN Gaming walking forward and taking down a tier 3 tower. What the heck are you going to do against this? The outspam isn't there. KP walks forward. The BKB is out. He might go down. He doesn't quite get there in time. They instead decide to turn on to KP. Mugi walking forward, hoping to stop this, but the damage is there. The buyback from the Nyx Assassin. They almost take down the freaking barracks, but now they need to back out. KP is doing a ton of damage. And Mugi walking too far forward. What have you done? They're able to find him. The Impale's under nobody. They pull back in again. He's gone. 60 seconds with no buyback either.
Mugi, he almost had Haunt. He was like seconds away.
They take down Faith. They take down them all. And the chat wheel spam doesn't do justice to how big of a change that was for paiN Gaming.
They did drive them back. There is a slight win for Newbee in that sense, because it looked like they were going to lose Rax, and I think that's what made them feel so pressured, is that they don't want to go Rax in this scenario. Can't get that far behind, so they felt threatened to throw Mugi out there. And he did a lot of damage. In fact, they almost did the same amount of damage on both sides, but they didn't close out any of those kills on those Radiant heroes.
Man. 2,000 net worth. Look at the change. It's been like a 10,000 net worth swing over the past couple of minutes.
Tavo made some great plays there, too. Just going for solo RPs on incredibly key heroes. Like, how do they go high ground if SCCC's alive? Right. They basically don't, right? Incredibly difficult to do. So just picking him off right off the bat.
Well, and that's that moment, too, where if you're Newbee, you feel safe because Kaka's out there. He's giving vision. You see that the Magnus is in the area. They tried to get the, the Spike Carapace off of the cleave.
Yeah.
But they just go back for the hero that's behind him.
Yeah. That was like a 1 pixel difference, too, where that might have been a set up in towards for the Kunkka to start calming down on top of the Magnus. And could have started a fight on Newbee's turn instead, but Newbee have scattered out the pit. They have the Satyr inside. So chilling with Roche, acting all buddy-buddy, like, hey, man, how's it going? When really he's just scouting out for his team to come and kill him, which is a pretty rude and backstabby thing to do.
Unbelievable.
But, I mean, he is a Satyr Tormentor, so I feel like that's probably the kind of stuff he does on a day-to-day basis.
Fair enough. Ursa comes in, steals the rune before the deny is there. And the scan also will hit onto paiN Gaming. But, yeah, you look at this situation and how the game has changed. I mean, there are people that are starting to catch back up. Ursa is above the Spectre now, and getting closer and closer to that Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, that is pretty hard to believe. Very well done so far from paiN Gaming.
Not to mention the Terrorblade. Kaka walks forward. They do have a Sentry Ward, but it's Actually, no, that's the newbie sentry ward. Where's the sentry wards for paiN? I don't see any except for this one right over here.
There's a couple on the high ground for now.
There it is.
There's one drop down. And so they'll begin Roche. Not a lot invest. This is really risky when it's like just your Ursa inside, and if he gets bashed up, so he's going to start. He was waiting to see if they would start a fight first.
Right. HFN is nearby too. They still have Haunt available. Spectre is going to TP into the shrine now.
This doesn't look that good. Okay, they're going to start tanking with the Terrorblade instead. That allows Ursa to finish it faster. And that's a key thing, because that just gets it in time.
They just get the Roche. There's no Haunt, there's no nothing. And now, walking forward, they pull back in Kaka. They're able to find him. They do get a nice Hex, though, able to isolate one and start to take down his Ursa. But the swap out, he's living the Enrage. It's not going to kill him off in time. SC being forced back as well. The Haunt is going to be there afterwards. He gets the Sunder out of the illusion. HFN able to escape. The rest of his team is there not to back him up, though. And with that Aegis expiring, can they make anything else happen here? Weehaw can jump back in a second, but he's getting his Blink Dagger broken as well. The reflection is out. Haunt illusion. Oh, no, they broke the Blink Dagger. Tabo not able to jump in with that RP. It would have been onto several. Weehaw ran away yet again, barely alive. Only gets the RP onto one, but it should be enough to take down KP.
Devastating spray on the ground there from Tavo. As again, he just needs one-man RPs. You know, this is not a game where you need the 5-man sort of a deal, especially once you're ahead. Any of these key targets, and it's looking very good for you.
And you got into that reflection talent that we were talking about before, and now being able to take down the shrines as well. They did lose the Aegis, and I think that they had to pop the cheese as well.
Yeah, that's okay. Things are looking quite good.
4,000 net worth lead. Quite good for paiN Gaming. Newbee, on the other hand, they need to find their footing again. It kind of feels like, you know, when there's a river and it's getting close to a waterfall, it starts speeding up and the play keeps going faster and faster. It feels like they're close to falling off a cliff here.
Yeah, and just not getting that Rax did hurt them quite a bit, though, because I think they do have some problems going high ground, just with the Kunkka and everything, especially when he eventually gets in this crit, which is now closer because he has this halberd. But they're going to start playing a closeout game. I believe I heard a gem somewhere. Okay, Tavo's got it. So KRT goes down again, but he doesn't have the gem. He just paid for it, so that's good.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, this is always the strength that you're going to get out of the Nyx Assassin and why this hero is such a pain.
So good versus Pugna, but it's a support, so it doesn't end up mattering all too much.
Yeah. Weehaw, maybe looking for a little bit of payback, but the Nyx is already away. Level 20 for him. Has that extra enraged duration on
with
top of Ags.
Yeah, very strong.
Wonder if he's going to go for the status resistance. You always go Earth Shock, though, surely. Surely.
It's pretty sick.
Well, what are we sort of looking for Newbee now? Is, you know, not necessarily like a way back in, but that first step at least. What do they need to get their feet under them?
I think it's really difficult for them to create big kills with Kaka, so that's a problem for them. Like, it's basically, it has to be this sort of a setup, but look how well they're being backed up right now. Oh, he just goes in.
He missed the Tidebringer, and they are going to be able to disarm him. They find the hit, but the Impale, it's off the mark, and they're able to find the skewer. They chase back forward for more. They're taking down SC. He just evaporates there. Haunt used to no avail. And again, SCCC dead for 60 seconds. No buyback.
I know they're standing in desperate territory, but I will say if there was been one major problem for Newbee this game, it's been the Haunts. Like, the Haunts have consistently been used in, like, they killed a Pugna like 3 times the Haunt or something. It's just like such worthless Haunts that didn't really have big impacts on the game. And they didn't really have enough heroes to, like, for that to be okay, you know? They kind of need the Haunt to win a team fight. And now they're using it when no one else is in position where they weren't really ready for the team fight. But the problem is they need that Kunkka, and that's why they have to go all out for it.
30 seconds, no Kunkka. They swap back in one. They find Fade, get the kill, and Pale there as well. They buy back now on the Shadow Shaman. They're trying to run in and make anything happen at all that they can. They are isolating one, taking him down, and that is going to be a dead terribly. Great pickoff with the Venge falling as well. Moogie coming online. They find themselves another. Weehaw is going to die as well. Moogie, just when you'd called him out, he comes back in style, although they do lose yet another. That was Kaka dying as well. Tavo looking to maybe finish this guy off. He gets the shrine.
See, I know how to motivate.
Exactly.
Right, that's what I'm here for. Tough love. All right? The Newbee have needed tough love for the second half of this season. So someone had to finally say it. So Moogie, look at that damage. 3980. Slayed it during that team fight. Got almost 1,500 gold. KP also cleaning up with 1,323. And a shift to bring paiN a little bit closer to even. But more importantly, that high ground did not go very well for them again. They still don't have a Rax.
Yeah, and they don't even have this bottom tier 3 tower. You can win team fights, but it's got to convert into something afterwards, and that's what the newbie draft does in a lot of ways. SCCC, for defense, is coming through here while we're going to see Tavo cut some creep waves. Kind of a dangerous play, but realize you can just blink out afterwards and we'll be fine.
SCCC is also ditching on the crit stick. He had it queued up again with his blades of attack, and he's like, oh, now I need an AC.
Yeah.
This poor guy. He can't have any fun.
It is so much damage coming out from the Terrorblade. They need an answer to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Cleave doesn't really care about the armor at all. But nonetheless, it is a scary thing if you can't just blow somebody up there with the Ursa or the Terrorblade.
Tell you one thing, I'm not faulting Tavo for anything this game. I think Tavo's been slaying it. You know, he has kept them in this one. The core is in Weehaw and HFN also doing great in terms of like they're farming across the map, but Tavo is making those really important plays. Weehaw, though, he was a great initiator in that last fight, too. The way he just like dove into the tower and knew that his team was going to back him up, allowing for the two-man RP to happen. Yeah. There's a lot of good synergy happening from paiN. They got to reel it back a little bit. You got to be a little bit crazy to come back into this game, but now you got to go down a little.
Fair enough. Well, certainly what's not crazy is getting good vision of your opponents as you're heading in, but likewise, Duster will be able to find the ward. And as they reload for another round of pressure here, looks like paiN are going to opt to take down the second shrine. Next Roche, 2 minutes before it's possible that it respawns. And we'll see if paiN decide to wait before that happens, before they go for a high ground push. Worth noting, Refresher Shard, pretty good with Magnus.
Yeah, I hear that's an all right one.
And looking at the levels, too, something that we talked about a lot. It is the level 20s for all of paiN cores, pretty much, whereas you're looking at just now hitting it on the Kunkka as well. So things are starting to, the power spikes are kind of hitting each other, at least a little bit. Aeon Disc for the Enchantress, as well as the Nyx.
Yeah, Kaka's at that really annoying part of the game where they still have this gem on Magnus. If they can kill Tavo, ooh.
Oh, man.
They had the Yules ready on Nyx if they really wanted to secure that, but there were so many heroes there that just would have ended up being a bad thing for them, honestly.
And I think that the gem was there also for Mag, so he saw the Nyx coming in and was prepped for it. Lane's being pushed out along the side here by Moogie. Has Haunt up, going for the Butterfly. Has it now, but wouldn't have buyback if he commits for it. We'll see if he does, and he will indeed.
Okay, bit risky. He gets picked off for sure.
Other heroes without buyback. Terrorblade still about 1,000 gold away from it, as he also has the option to go for the Butterfly this round if he wants.
Doesn't really look like an MKB game, does it? So
nah.
Butterfly's going to be very effective. Maybe you're going to have to work a little bit with that cleave if you're playing the Ursa.
All right, no buyback on either of the cores.
Okay.
The illusions get spread out. They're going to pressure through, and KP will see them.
Where are you going?
We'll enchant it now. And the smoke up immediately afterwards.
All right, Kaka permanently invis, roaming around. He's going to find Tavo, but remember, he doesn't have the gem. That would be Tavo who does, and he sees him.
They see the Nyx. They pull him back in. The skewer there onto one. Weehaw able to break the blinks of the other ones. The boat is going to go out, and the Aeon Disc actually kept him alive for the moment. There's the 4-stab keeping the Mag alive just for the moment, but the Haunt should be able to clean him up as they chase down KP, almost going to kill him off. The right clicks will secure that one, and they have lost the Vengeful Spear, but that's it as the Sunder is out. They get the RP. It's only onto one, but it's one they needed. They catch the second one as well. There's Fate. Everybody dying. Can they kill off the Terrorblade? They will be able to get that one. Moogie being chased by his own illusion. They lose Tavo too. He's still living. Moogie able to live.
We're just down to a 1v1. Moogie's not coming back to this one.
Oh, Weehaw in trouble. Oh no, he ran into the wards, and with the impetus shot, that will finish him off. Oh my God.
Oh, the courier though, it secured the gem. It's on the run. That's why you pay for the good Roche.
Oh man. And a 2,000 gold lead off of that one, showing the strength of Spectre again. You know, we talked about the Haunts before. That's the Haunt they needed.
Yeah, now we're looking pretty good here. Butterfly, I'm sure, helping out in that one. And he's going to be looking for an Abyssal Blade of his own to match up with the one that Weehaw is also building in towards.
The Terrorblade illusion was almost able. It was either the it was the Terrorblade illusion because it was Reflection, not the Vengeance Sora one. But showing why this hero is just so often the object of scrutiny and just a dangerous hero to go against in the late game. That 8% dispersion talent also.
Yeah, these infinite reflections as well. These fights are just so brutal from Terrorblade though, but clearly not enough there. And we have ourselves an even game. Where do we go from here? It's basically like high ground focus. They would love to get a tier 3 from the side of Newbee because currently there's a better foothold on the pit in terms of buybacks for the side of paiN because they have their shrine. Newbee don't have that option. Very big advantage. And it makes it kind of scary to want to take that Roche fight without it.
Well, we do have a pause here as apparently King RD needs a second to sort out some of the issues. A 2,000 gold lead is all that remains at 41 minutes in. And you look at this game, we've just been treated with a lot of fabulous games so far, it feels like. And we're going to take a look at that replay now as well as the boat went out. And
yeah, one thing that happened there was that Nyx actually got skewered to the low ground, which ended up kind of saving him there because they couldn't continue the focus. As it was a great initiation from Tavo. I love the way he's able to save the RP because of that. But as you can see, the Sunder, what's cool is it goes through the Eon disc too. So it brought Kaka down really low and helped HFN stay in that fight a little bit longer.
We are going to hop back into the game now.
Yeah, nothing going on. Everyone's just respawned. The Roche was dead that whole time, so there was no opportunity to take it. The Dire have a creep inside here. No vision from the Radiant in the nearby area. And they scan, but
do they have an inkling?
They don't catch the fact that paiN are nearby.
This is scary. And it looks like Roche is going to fall unimpeded. They're not going to be able to get here in time. The pings are a bit too late. Kaka spots them out. Now they maybe want to take that fight. The Haunt is there as well. Everybody running as the reflections are out. But is it going to be enough damage? Looks like at least for now, paiN is just going to give up King RD. Although, do they go back in?
Kaka missed the stun off the Yules.
Haunt is down. They find themselves one. That's Faith. In spite of the Aegis Cheese Refresher, they don't care. They're chasing.
This is real bad for Newbee. They got to get out, reset. Everything's fine. All right, we're good. No chase down.
The Haunt was good to at least make sure that they were able to get away, and it was a good decision not to take that fight there by Newbee.
Yeah, it looked like they were just going to commit, though, because they got a free Yules onto Magnus. Kaka was looking good. He threw out a stun, but whiffed on it. And that just meant that if they couldn't instantly kill the Mag, then there's this threat of the team fight.
Where's the Refresher Shard? Did they use it?
No, it's on Spectre's backpack.
Oh, okay.
All right, SCCC cannot die because that has been the consistent fact. Maybe he should die. I don't know. Every time he dies and they go high ground, they don't get racks. So maybe he should sacrifice himself, try and keep the pattern alive.
Oh. And this is the other thing that I think is maybe most often overlooked about the Enchantress gameplay is being able to enchant illusions and send them back at your opponents.
Yep.
And against the Terrorblade, it's really good because you only tend to send like one or two maybe to push down a side lane. If Enchantress is there, you get the automatic D-push.
Yeah, a little bit of scouting potential too. Looks like they're trying to bait KP. Just like, I wonder if they're waiting in the fog to push high ground because they don't see anyone. So they don't see a single paiN hero, and their wave is pushing into the tower. So this is a, please come and kill KP. I'm just spronking around in front of my tier 3.
But too.
Yeah, little do they know that they're actually all around the middle, just going back and getting a little bit of net worth for themselves inside of paiN.
The Aeon Disc's really been just a spectacular purchase for Newbee as well. You look at KP and also the Nyx, Sass, and Kaka, like all of the team fight from paiN is built around that one moment. And if you can't get it, there you've got the combo breakers.
SCCC forced to pick up the gem here. That's been interesting. Looks like they're trying to keep the buyback on Kaka because he has to play so aggressive.
Yeah, this is not the way that we've tended to think about SCCC. It's the second lowest out of all the cores in this game right now in terms of net worth. Oh, and again, paiN Gaming looking to play aggressive. They solo again onto Kaka, trying to break out the Aeon Disc. It doesn't actually pop there, and the second one is going to come out. The Haunt is there as well with RP already down. Can they really even take this fight? Weeha says yes, and the chase forward for more Faith is actually going to get away from him. The Yule Scepter up by Kaka. The boat is going to be there, but SC taking a ton of damage. You can see Invis away yet again, and now HFN does finally get the vision onto him. They take down another as they swap away and try and chase down KP. His Aeon Disc is going to proc as well, and now the Impetus shot's going out onto HFN. Can they kill him off time? KP's out of mana. He doesn't have enough to finish it off. Thunder, he has enough, but he didn't turn and throw it onto KP.
Couldn't get it in time. Man, that was an absolutely wild fight. Whew. And it will end up being a pretty big victory there, but Faith, that glimmer, like he just survives because the gem was forced back. Tava wasn't in the area, so Weehawk couldn't finish off the Xiao Xiao. He's limping away, like 10% HP. He comes back in, hexes the Terrorblade, and just snakes him. He's like, you know what? Fine, we'll fight if you want to fight. I thought they were in deep trouble in that one. I think SCCC escaped with double-digit HP as well. Things were looking very poor for Newbee.
They're able to pull it back. paiN were able to sort of, again, build up a bit of a net worth lead off the back of some of those bounties picked up and such, but nonetheless, this game is just on a razor's edge, and it feels like you can go either way with it. The sort of ace in the hole that you got if you're Newbee is this refresher haunt, and in 38 seconds, they can use both of them. That is a ton of damage.
Now, the only problem is when they're both back up, the Aegis is also expiring. There's like a 10-second window or something where they're both available, so that'll be about 30 seconds. So it looks pretty good, and this is the time that you want to be here with all 5. They don't have their Xiao Shaman, though. He has no way of getting here, and that glimmer is pretty damn handy.
Yeah, look at the vision that they've got inside the Radiant base as well. 2 rounds of Observer wards. Need to clear that out of there as they do take 1 away, but there is still 1 more available. X on the movies, they can pull them back in after pressuring the tower and the barracks. The low commitment siege will commence, but they do not want to buy back the Terrorblade. Back up in 5. Haunt still available. The Yule Scepter, he's staying, not quite here. Jump forward, they find 1. Yule Scepter to break that up. They have the boat, they have the ship as well. They enrage it to run away. And reinitiate here if you want to. Enrage back up in 10 seconds.
Can they chase at all? They're going to Shadow Blade on Tavo, but it doesn't look like they'll have the speed to really keep up with them. Radiant Vision spots, Kaka dewarding, spots the DD, but they see the Kaka took it, so not a big concern. They're still willing to chase.
And it won't be any type of further pressure, it looks like, although if they wanted to, if they had a smoke, they could potentially make that play or just run up. HFN, bold as brass and ready to go. Man, he does have an MKB.
Or sorry, SCCC has been so stalled this game. I can't believe how poor he is. Like, he's been surpassed by his Nyx assassin in terms of levels at this point. Like, he just can't do anything on an individual level.
Yeah. It is one of the problems that you run into as Kunkka is if you die a couple of times, that snowball will stop in its tracks.
Especially if you don't have that crit, right? Like, you can't just go and, like, nuke a wave instantaneously and maybe try and go for some solo plays.
Well, in the meantime, paiN's still trying to find an answer to break this base. The shrines are available. Oh, Kaka, on disc, and paiL onto an illusion. They're still chasing forward. Mookie, the RP catches back onto 2, but the Hex to interrupt the skewer. No chance for them to jump back in onto this one. The Haunt is there as well, and now it looks like they're going to lose Tavo.
They have the second Haunt, second Abyssal, but wisely they're not going to chase. So good choice on that one.
I will rip you apart.
Yeah, that's the type of Haunt, and it's the... It sort of feels like this is the game at this point, that Newbee are comfortable with it going later and later and later. They still have room to grow on these heroes in some ways.
Yes, they could get a core Kunkka. It's been difficult.
It has been, that's for sure. And look at that. Ursa takes the Enrage status resistance.
I think when you have the Aegis, the Aghanim Scepter as well as the other talent, it makes a lot of sense, right? Like, what good is a 600? He can't kill Spectre Haunt illusions or anything like that, so the AoE isn't that incredible.
I mean, and it means that all of this disables do basically nothing to Weeha now. Aged or otherwise, you can just jump in and...
Where are you going?
5.5 seconds isn't going to run into any issues.
And they got away with a lot right there. That was a pretty risky spot to be standing as Newbee, but don't feel comfortable. There's always the possibility that he just refresher haunts and you get yourself in a really bad fight. So patience from paiN. Well, they definitely lost that little bit of crazy ever since they failed that bottom tier 3 push. And I guess now they kind of got to go back to a little bit of paiN gaming, you know, take something that's a little bit risky. Because it feels like they're just getting squished into their base, and that just means a lot of this farm's going to be funneling onto HFN, and Weeha's going to start falling off. You can't abuse your Empower on any of your heroes if you're just stuck in the base. You're still just getting every wave.
Yeah. Well, and this is the type of play that you need to make. The unfortunate part is that it is very telegraphed. If you're Newbee, you got to know that something like this is coming out, but still standing here in the mid lane with KP.
Gem is on Weeha, so if anyone else runs into Kaka, they don't have anything to do.
Wrap around, it's coming. You have Kunkka that's away from the rest of his team, actually. Weeha picks up the haste, runs away.
Chant not there.
And, I mean, they have the MKB on Terrorblade. I think that if Weeha is able to finish off his, that might be the timing that they're waiting to play around. Like, I don't think that Newbee feel comfortable going in to try and push the base either. They want to get that next Aegis themselves.
Yeah, exactly. They want to finish up the heart on him as well, so... Kaka finds the hero with the gem, uses him up. Tavo's, he wants this, but he's scouted out now.
Haunt comes out. They have the reflection immediately to try and mitigate this damage that's coming in and trying to isolate one. The boat is there as well for the damage mitigation. Weeha taking a lot of damage. They turn this back around, but the disarm, it's on a Terrorblade. The Hex is there as well. He is going to fall. Tons of damage out now from the rest of Newbee as they did pop that refresher Haunt and going to chase down Ursa. They have buyback, but that one hurts.
Tavo, oh, Abyssal!
They got him caught. A triple kill for Mookie. The buyback is there with the special sound being played. But I think Newbee are feeling quite good about their prospects.
Yeah, they actually leave the gem on the ground there, not even needing it. Looks like they might be sending the courier after it.
All right, no more Haunt. They got the buybacks out of the mag as well. And that is going to signal we need to get out of here. RP is still up.
Yeah, and they're going to get this gem too. So they come back over it and they go, oh, thank you. We'll take 2 eyes there for Kaka. And back into the Roche pit.
I mean, that's a little risky, isn't it?
Yeah, they can regen 1. Using the X.
They'll maintain vision over Weeha as he's farming these Ancients. But yeah, this is a little bit scary with no Haunt. And they also have used that refresher.
Okay, yeah, so back we go.
Mugi has 8,000 gold, though. Should probably buy something.
Yeah, he only has a 5K surplus, so he needs the Aegis anyway. There's no point really buying into anything. He just gets the Reaver, but can't even keep it in his inventory, really.
Okay.
Denies the regen move. Got him.
So scary stuff. I mean, I guess, who are you thinking as ideal targets to target if you're paiN Gaming? Do you go after like Faith, or is SC the one you need to hit?
I think that is one difficult aspect, is that like if they just kill the Ench, the Kunkka is pretty scary if he's totally ignored, but they've been able to focus him a lot. Yeah. Just kind of playing with each other here. Yeah, then Rage, just making things safe.
Scary stuff, and no lifesteal right now on Ursa means that he can't just go back in and hit things. Mugi checks inside, kind of low on mana, and yeah, he's going to put his TP into his backpack and probably get X back in.
KP with his Aeon, this just feels so safe.
Swaps in, though. That's a little bit scary. The stun comes out. He's still stunned in the duration of that. KP very low. The boat comes out. They're able to catch them all. It's so much damage. They get the skewer back in as well, but the fleet is here. Is it going to be enough? They managed to find themselves another kill. It's only onto the Venge, though. HFN is just running around like a madman, but Mugi might be the one that has too much damage. Another round of reflection here in just a second. The Sunder is there. Can they keep their buddy alive? HFN, their carry, is eventually going to fall. They buy back on the Nyx, but they also lose Mugi. There's the Haunt back in. He wants to fight this one, and now they're right on top of Weeha. Tavo, he's going to skewer him to try and save his buddy, but he's going to die nonetheless. Everybody gone for paiN Gaming.
Haunt into instant bash. You can't teach that, folks. Mugi back into it, right in towards the high ground, and just 2 measly supports to try and hold on. The spray back, they've been learning. Team Liquid, they took some notes. KP's ready for this one.
And that is the best 10,000 net worth swing against you that you feel good about. Because Newbee, I believe, might have just won this game. There are no buybacks on these cores.
That's not a buyback in the whole damn game. They're all gone.
And this is looking to potentially be the finish here in just game number 1. Like, what the heck is going on? This series, 54 minutes so far, as they're going to assault the Ancient. And it looks like with the swap into the fountain, they're trying to take down KP, but it's not enough, as GG is called.
As much as I kind of joked about SCCC in this game, what I really liked about from Newbee is that they're showing a new side to them, where there are different players who can kind of perform different roles. Like, it's very rare. I don't know if I've ever seen SCCC play that sacrificial. You know what I mean? Like, he's buying a gem. This hasn't been a big thing for them, but all the top teams right now, you can never always, like you can't truly identify who's going to be getting the most gold or who's going to have the most impact, because people are so flexible with it. And they can choose the right player and the right hero for the game. And in a case like this, SCCC had to be that hero, he had to be that player, and he made that space. Like, KP was kind of the dominator.
Totally. And he was the one that, I mean, you know what it is? It's mid lane. Whoever goes mid, that's the one that's going to dominate. But, you know, to be serious for a moment here, you look at this team and the biggest criticism that they had at TI, the biggest criticism that they had all year was that they were somewhat inflexible in the way that they played it. And as you so astutely pointed out, this is the thing that they need to do if they want to go